I didn't expect my life to unravel over a dumb prank. My name's Ryan, 32, and I've always had this thing for photography. Not the pose stuff, just raw, unfiltered moments. Last Saturday, Lisa and I were parked outside the grocery store, bickering about whose turn it was to cook. She was scrolling her phone, ignoring me, and I thought, perfect. I'd seen this TikTok trend. Snatch your partner's phone, run off, film their reaction. Easy laughs, right? I mumbled something about stretching my legs, then lunged across the console, grabbed her phone, and bolted out the driver's side door. The cold March air hit me as I sprinted across the lot, grinning like a kid who just pulled off a heist. I heard her yell my name, sharp and loud, but I kept going, ducking behind a pickup truck to catch my breath. Her voice carried this edge, though less playful, more desperate. I brushed it off. Lisa's always been dramatic. Back in the car, she snatched her phone from me, her face flushed, muttering about how I'd scared her half to death. I laughed it off, figuring I'd edit the clip later and post it. We've been married 5 years, together since our late 20s, and I thought I knew her, every quirk, every mood. But that night, something nagged at me. I couldn't sleep, so I pulled the dashcam footage from the car. It's this little habit of mine, checking recordings for random shots I might turn into a photo series. I fast-forwarded to the prank, expecting her usual eye rolls. Instead, the audio hit me like a punch. Alone in the car, she'd muttered under her breath, "He'll never find it anyway." I renamed John as Mom. My stomach twisted. John? Mom? I replayed it, thinking I'd misheard. But there it was, clear as day, her voice low and smug. I sat there in the dark, the glow of my laptop screen burning my eyes, wondering who the heck John was, and why my wife was hiding him behind a lie. I couldn't unhear it. Lisa's voice looped in my head all night, calm, almost amused like she'd outsmarted me. By morning, I was a mess, chugging coffee to stay sharp. I've always been the laid-back one. Lisa's the planner, the one who keeps our life on track. She's 31, works in marketing, and I'm just a warehouse supervisor who tinkers with a camera on weekends. We met at a friend's barbecue, bonded over bad potato salad, and built something solid. Or so I thought. But that dashcam clip cracked it all open. I waited till she left for work, her usual "love you, see you tonight," ringing hollow as she kissed my cheek. The second her car pulled out, I grabbed my laptop again. I had to know what she meant. The footage was time-stamped. March 22nd, 2025, 6:47 p.m. She'd said it right after I ran off, like she was relieved I was gone. Renamed John as Mom. It didn't make sense. Her mom's name is Linda, saved in her phone as Linda, not Mom. I'd seen it 100 times when she'd call her on speaker. So who was this John? My hands shook as I opened her phone's cloud backup. I'd set it up years ago for her photos, and she never changed the password. I scrolled her contacts. There it was, Mom, with a number I didn't recognize. No text showed up, but that didn't mean much. She could have deleted them. Then I found a call log buried in the settings. Mom had called her 3 times last week, late at night, when she'd told me she was catching up on emails. My chest tightened. I wanted to call the number right then, but what if it was her mom? What if I was losing it over nothing? I paced the kitchen, replaying every late night, every vague excuse. Then I remembered she'd left her phone in the car once a month back and freaked out when I offered to grab it. Said it was work stuff. The pieces were piling up, and they didn't fit the woman I thought I knew. I needed proof, something concrete, before I lost my mind completely. I tried to act normal that night. Lisa came home, all smiles, tossing her bag on the couch like nothing was wrong. She rambled about a client meeting while I nodded, barely hearing her. My mind was stuck on that dashcam clip on John. I kept thinking about our early days, how she'd laugh at my terrible photo puns, how we'd stay up late dreaming about a house with a big porch. 5 years, and I'd never doubted her. But now, every memory felt like a prop in some play I didn't know I was starring in. I watched her cook dinner, chopping onions with this casual grace, and wondered how long she'd been lying. Had it been months? Years? I couldn't ask her. Not yet. I needed more than a muttered hint. So I waited. Later, she hopped in the shower, leaving her phone on the counter. My chance. I grabbed it, hands sweaty, and punched in her pin, Our anniversary 0920. It unlocked, and I went straight to her contacts. Mom was there. Same number from the cloud. I scrolled her texts. Nothing suspicious, just grocery lists and memes with friends. Too clean. Then I checked her call history. Mom had called at 11:43 p.m. last Thursday, a 20-minute chat. Lisa had told me she was asleep by 10 that night. My pulse raced. I opened her photos next, expecting some dumb selfie to explain it away. Instead, I found a shot from 2 weeks ago, her and a guy at a coffee shop, his arms slung over her shoulder. He looked familiar, but I couldn't place him. She'd cropped it tight, like she didn't want the background to give anything away. I snapped a pic with my own phone just as the shower shut off. I locked her screen, slid it back, and pretended to scroll mine when she walked in, towel around her head. "You okay?" she asked, squinting at me. "Yeah, just tired," I lied. She shrugged and started drying her hair, oblivious. But that photo burned in my pocket. Who was he? And why was she hiding him in plain sight? I had to find out before she figured out I was onto her. I barely slept after that. The guy in the photo haunted me. Dark hair, cocky grin, too close to my wife. By morning, I was wired, running on adrenaline and black coffee. Lisa left for work, same routine, same kiss goodbye. I waited 5 minutes, then grabbed her spare car keys. She always left them in the junk drawer, a habit I'd teased her about. If she was hiding something, I'd find it. I drove to her office parking lot, keeping my distance, and watch her pull in. She didn't go inside. Instead, she sat in her car, texting furiously. I zoomed in with my camera, old habit from snapping birds at the park, and caught her screen. Couldn't read it, but her thumbs were flying. Then she stepped out, locked up, and headed in. I waited till the coast was clear, then slipped into her car with the spare key. Her phone wasn't there. She'd taken it, but I rifled the glove box. Receipts, gum, nothing juicy. Under the passenger seat, though, I found a crumpled note. "Meet me at Dino's, 7 p.m., J." Dino's was this diner downtown we never went to. J had to be John. My gut churned. I pocketed the note and got out before anyone saw me. Back home, I cross-checked her call log from the cloud. Mom had called the night before that note's date. March 18th, another late one. It was adding up, but I needed her phone again. That evening, she was distracted, humming while folding laundry. I offered to make tea, and when she said yes, I waited for her to hit the bathroom. Her phone was on the couch. I snatched it, opened her messages, and found Mom again. This time, there was a text. "Can't wait to see you tomorrow." Sent yesterday. My hand shook as I scrolled up. More messages, flirty, vague, but damning. "Missed you last time. You're the best part of my day." I heard the bathroom door creak and shoved the phone back, heart pounding. She walked out, smiling, oblivious. But I wasn't. Tomorrow, she'd see him. And I'd be there, camera ready, to catch her in the act. I played it cool all day, but inside, I was unraveling. Lisa left for drinks with coworkers at 6 p.m., her hair done up, a little too much perfume. She kissed me quick and said, "Don't wait up." I smiled, told her to have fun. The second she was gone, I grabbed my camera bag and headed to Dino's. I parked a block away, hood up, and found a spot across the street with a clear view through the diner's big windows. At 7:03, she walked in, scanning the room. Then he showed up, dark hair, that same grin from the photo. John. They hugged, lingered too long, and sat in a booth. I snapped shots, my lens steady even if my hands weren't. They laughed, leaned close, her hand brushing his. My throat tightened. I stayed an hour, documenting every glance, every touch. Back home, I waited. She rolled in at 10, claiming her night was boring. I couldn't hold it in. "How's John?" I asked, voice flat. Her face froze, eyes wide, then she laughed, too loud. "Who?" "Oh, you mean Johnny from work? He's just a friend, babe. You're so paranoid." I pulled out my phone, showed her the diner pics. "This Johnny." Her smile vanished. She stammered, said it was a work thing that I'd misunderstood. But I pressed, mentioned the note, the calls, Mom. She pivoted fast. "Okay, fine. I met him and plan a surprise for you. A camera lens you've wanted. He's helping me pick it." It was slick, almost believable. But I checked our account that morning. $500 withdrawn last week. No lens in sight. Where's the money then? I asked. She blinked, then said, I haven't paid yet. Lies on lies. I wanted to scream, but I nodded, let her think I bought it. She relaxed, kissed my forehead, said we'd talk tomorrow. I didn't sleep. Her story didn't add up. John wasn't Johnny from work, and that cash was gone. I pulled the cloud again, found a deleted text from Mom dated 2 days ago. Bring the cash, babe. My blood ran cold. She wasn't just cheating, she was bleeding me dry, and I was done playing the fool. I couldn't look at Lisa the same after Dino's. She went to bed that night, humming like everything was fine, while I sat in the dark, staring at those photos. I used to love capturing life, sunsets, stray dogs, her smile. Now, my camera felt like a loaded gun. I caught her with John, watched her lie to my face, and found that text about cash. $500 gone, and she thought I'd swallow her surprise lens story. By morning, I was done waiting for confessions. I called in sick, grabbed my gear, and tailed her. She left at 8, same routine, but I knew better now. I followed at a distance, my old Nikon on the passenger seat, lens cap off. She didn't go to work. Instead, she pulled into a strip mall lot, parked, and waited. I hung back, snapping shots through my windshield, her tapping the wheel, checking her phone. Then a black SUV rolled up. John. He climbed in her car, and they talked, heads close. My shutter clicked, frame after frame. He handed her something, couldn't tell what, then left. She drove off, and I followed, heart hammering. She hit a bank, walked out tucking an envelope in her purse. Cash. My cash. I trailed her to work after that, but my mind was racing. This wasn't just some fling. There was money moving, secrets piling up. Back home, I uploaded the pics. Her expression in one shot, smirking, relaxed, hit me hard. She looked happier with him than she'd been with me in months. I dug through her closet, found an old shoebox of her stuff, letters, trinkets. Nothing obvious, but it felt like I was excavating a stranger's life. Then my phone buzzed. Nate, my buddy from high school, texting about a beer later. I hesitated, then typed back. Need a favor instead. Nate's a tech guy, nosy, clever, perfect for this. I needed someone to crack her digital trail because I was drowning in guesses. Lisa got home at 6, all chipper, asking about my day. I lied, said I'd napped. But my eyes were on her purse, that envelope, wondering what else she was hiding, and how deep this hole went. Nate met me at a dive bar that night, all grins till he saw my face. I slid him the photos across the table. Lisa and John, Dino's the strip mall. He whistled low. Dude, this is heavy. I'd known Nate since we were 16, sneaking into concerts with fake IDs. He's a guy who'd hack a school server for kicks, and I needed that now. I told him everything. The prank, the dashcam, the cash. He leaned back, sipping his beer, then asked, You recognize this guy? I didn't, not really. That grin nagged at me, though, like a half-remembered dream. Nate pulled out his laptop, started cross-referencing my pics with social media. Give me an hour, he said. I nursed a soda, replaying Lisa's lies. She'd been home an hour, texting Mom while I was out. I checked her phone's location history before leaving. Disabled, another red flag. Nate snapped me out of it. Got him. John Kessler. Went to your high school, couple years ahead. My stomach dropped. Kessler. I vaguely remembered him. Loud, popular, dated half the cheer squad, including Lisa back then. They'd broken up before college, or so she'd told me. Nate kept digging. He's married now, works construction, lives 20 miles out. Married? That hit sideways. Was Lisa the side piece, or was he? I stared at the screen. John's profile pic, arm around a blonde, grinning that same grin. Why is she risking this? I muttered. Nate shrugged. Money, thrills, who knows? But I could get more texts, emails if you want. I nodded. I had to know. Back home, Lisa was asleep, her purse on the counter. I checked it. No envelope, just her wallet. She'd stashed it somewhere. I lay awake, piecing it together. High school sweethearts, reunited. Cash changing hands. My savings draining. It wasn't just betrayal. It was a double life. Next morning, she left early, said she had a meeting. I waited, then checked our account again. Another $300 gone, withdrawn yesterday. My hands clenched. She was bleeding me dry, and John wasn't on it. But why? What were they building with my money? I texted Nate, dig deeper. Because this wasn't over, not by a long shot. I spent that day in a haze, chasing ghosts. Nate's find, John Kessler, unlocked memories I'd buried. Lisa and I had talked about exes once, early on, over cheap wine. She'd laughed off John, called him a dumb jock she'd dated for 6 months at 17. Said he'd cheated, they'd split, end of story. I believed her, why wouldn't I? But now, those old photo albums in our attic called to me. I hauled them down, dust stinging my eyes, and flipped through. Prom pics, graduation, there he was. John tuxedoed and smirking, Lisa beaming beside him. She'd kept these tucked away like souvenirs. My chest ached. She'd lied about how much he'd met. I found a note in her loopy teenage scrawl. Jay, forever, right? Dated 2010. Forever didn't last, but maybe it never really ended. I shoved the albums back, anger simmering. She wasn't just cheating, she was rewriting our history. That night, she came home late, claiming traffic. I didn't buy it. I'd driven by her office earlier. Her car wasn't there at 6. I kept my mouth shut, watching her unpack takeout like nothing was wrong. My phone buzzed, Nate. Found something. Call me. I stepped outside, heart pounding. He'd cracked her cloud backups, deleted pics, texts. One photo hit hard. Lisa and John, a motel room. Her in a robe, him shirtless, laughing. Timestamped last month. Then a text. Need another 500 next week. He's clueless. My vision blurred. Clueless. Me. I thanked Nate, hung up, and stood there, cold air biting my face. She'd played me from the start. Next morning, I followed her again. She hit the bank, another withdrawal, $500 this time. I snapped pics from across the street, her slipping cash in her purse. Then she drove to a park, met John on a bench. They talked quick and tense. He took the envelope, nodded, and left. I zoomed in, his face tight, hers nervous. This wasn't love. It was business. But what kind? Back home, I stared at those shots, the pieces not quite fitting. She walked in, saw me with my camera, and froze. What are you working on? She asked, voice shaky. I smiled. Just a project. But I was on her now. I couldn't let it go. The cash, the lies, John. Lisa acted normal all weekend, chatting about work, suggesting a movie night. I played along, but my mind was on our bank account. Monday morning, I logged in while she showered. Another $200 gone. ATM withdrawal, Saturday, 2 a.m. She'd been asleep next to me then. I scrolled back, $1. 500 total missing over 2 months. Small chunks, nothing I'd noticed till now. She'd always handled our budget, said I was too dreamy for numbers. I trusted her. Big mistake. I called the bank, played dumb, asked about weird activity. They confirmed the withdrawals, all from ATMs near downtown, near Dino's, near that park. My jaw tightened. She was funneling our money somewhere, probably to John. I confronted her that night, casual-like, over dinner. Hey, noticed some cash missing. You see anything odd? She didn't flinch. Oh, probably just groceries, babe. ATMs are easier sometimes. Groceries? For $1,500? I pressed. Where's the receipts, then? Her forward paws midair, eyes narrowing. What's with the 3rd degree? I've got it under control. She flipped it, accused me of not trusting her, stormed off to bed. Classic dodge. I didn't buy it. Next day, I checked our savings, another hit, $800 gone last month, transferred to an account I didn't recognize. I called Nate. Can you trace a bank number? He could. By evening, he had it. A joint account, Lisa and John, opened 3 months ago. My head spun. They'd planned this, siphoning my paycheck while I smiled like a chump. I dug through her desk, found a bank statement shoved under old bills. It showed deposits matching her withdrawals, then bigger transfers, thousands, out to some LLC. What were they buying? A house? A getaway? I snapped pics of it all, my hand steady now. She got home, saw me at her desk, and snapped, "What are you doing?" I held up the statement. Explain this. She went pale, stammered about investments, but I cut her off. With John. Her silence said it all. I walked out, camera in hand, needing air. But as I hit the porch, my phone buzzed. Nate again. Dude, it's worse than you think. Worse? How much worse could it get? I met Nate at his place, a cramped apartment littered with tech gear. He didn't waste time. That LLC? It's a shell. Owns a property 30 miles out. Bought last month, cash $120,000. My mouth went dry. Our savings had been $130,000 6 months ago. Now it was under $10,000. Lisa and John hadn't just taken pocket change. They'd gutted me. Nate pulled up county records on his screen. Deeds in his name, but her withdrawals matched the timeline. She's been feeding it. I stared at the address. A cabin, remote, perfect for disappearing. My hands clenched. 5 years of marriage, and she'd built a new life with my money. Nate kept going. Found more texts. Cloud's a gold mine. She's been at that cabin with him. Weekends you thought she was visiting friends. He showed me one. Love her spot. He's none the wiser. Sent 2 weeks ago. I felt sick. I've been framing shots of stray cats while she framed me. What now? Nate asked. I didn't know. Confront her? Call the cops? I needed proof, irrefutable, in her face. Can you give me everything? I asked. He nodded, started downloading her backups, texts, pics, voice memos. I drove home, mind racing. Lisa was on the couch, scrolling her phone, all innocent. Where'd you go? She asked, not looking up. Out, I said, voice flat. She shrugged, but I caught her glance, wary, like she knew I was close. Next day, Nate delivered. A USB drive, loaded. I plugged it in after she left for work. Pics of the cabin. Her and John by a lake, cozy, laughing. Texts about the plan, vague but damning. Then a voice memo. Her voice, drunk. Once we're set, I'm done with him. He's too soft. My blood ran cold. Soft? I'd given her everything, trust, a home, my heart. I sat there, staring at my camera on the table. It had caught her once by accident. Now it'd bury her, on purpose. I texted Nate, need one more favor. Because this wasn't just betrayal. It was theft calculated cold. And I wasn't letting her walk away with my life in her pocket. But what was the plan? I had to find out fast. I couldn't keep pretending. Lisa's voice memo, he's too soft, played on loop in my head, her contempt cutting deeper than the affair. I'd spent years building a life with her, framing every moment like a perfect shot. Now it was ash. That night, I waited till she was brushing her teeth, then laid it out, photos, texts, the bank statement, on the kitchen table. She walked in, saw it, and froze. What's this? She asked, voice tight. You tell me, I said, pointing at the cabin pic. You and John. My money. She didn't blink, just sat down, hands clasped. Okay, fine. It's not what you think. Not what I think. I laughed, bitter. You're stealing from me, Lisa. For him. She shook her head, eyes wide, playing innocent. No, it's an investment for us. John's just helping. You're twisting it. Twisting it? I slid the USB across the table. Listen to yourself. Done with him. That's you. She went pale, grabbed my laptop, played it. Her own voice filled the room, slurred and cold. She slammed it shut, stood up. You're spying on me? That's sick, Ryan. Sick? I snapped. You're draining our savings for your boyfriend, and I'm sick. She pivoted, tears welling, classic move. I was scared to tell you. It's a side hustle, okay? I messed up. Side hustle? With flirty texts and motel pics? I wasn't buying it. Then show me the LLC docs, I said. She stammered, said they were at the office. Lies. I grabbed my keys. I'm done with this. She lunged, grabbed my arm. Don't ruin us over a misunderstanding. I shook her off, walked out. The air hit me hard, but my mind was clear. She wasn't sorry. She was cornered. I drove to Nate's, crashed on his couch, replaying her excuses. They didn't add up. That cabin wasn't for us. It was her escape hatch. And that plan? I texted Nate, still awake at his desk. Check her emails. Now, because if she thought tears would stop me, she was wrong. I wasn't soft anymore. But as I drifted off, one question gnawed. What was she still hiding? Nate's couch smelled like stale chips, but I didn't care. I needed space to think. Lisa texted me nonstop that night. Come home. Let's talk. You're overreacting. I muted her. Overreacting? She'd siphoned $120,000, built a secret life, and call me soft while plotting to ditch me. I wasn't going back to beg. I was going to hit her where it hurt. Nate stumbled out at dawn, bleary-eyed, with news. Her emails are a mess, mostly work junk. But I found one from John, encrypted. Took me hours, but it's bad. He showed me. Funds cleared. We're set for June. He won't see it coming. June. 3 months away. Might get twisted. See what coming? Nate kept digging while I paced, piecing it together. The cabin, the cash, her memo. They were staging something big. Divorce? Worse? I didn't know, but I wasn't waiting to find out. I need to flip this, I told Nate. He grinned. Revenge, huh? I'm in. We brainstormed. She thought I was clueless, so I'd use that. I'd fake forgiveness, get close, then turn her lies against her. Step 1. John's wife. Nate had her name, Claire Kessler, from his social media dive. If she didn't know, she'd blow this wide open. I drove home at noon, Lisa waiting, all puffy-eyed and contrite. I'm so sorry, she said, hugging me. I hugged back, stiff, playing the part. We'll figure it out, I lied. She relaxed, thinking she'd won. I asked about the cabin, our investment, and she fed me a story about rental income. Smooth, rehearsed. I nodded, asked for details later. She promised, oblivious. That night, I borrowed Nate's burner phone, texted Claire a teaser. Your husband's got a secret. Check his accounts. I attached one blurry diner pic, enough to spark doubt, not enough to tip Lisa off. Then I waited. Next day, Lisa was jittery, checking her phone more than usual. I kept my cool, offered to cook dinner. She smiled, grateful while I stirred the pot, plotting. My camera sat on the counter, a quiet reminder. I'd caught her once. I'd do it again. But when Nate called later, his voice was tense. Claire's on the move. And Lisa knows. Lisa's mask slipped the next morning. She was on edge, snapping at me over burnt toast, her phone buzzing nonstop. I played dumb, asked if she was okay. Just work stress, she muttered, eyes darting. I knew better. Claire had got my text. Nate confirmed it. She called John, furious, demanding answers. He denied everything, but Claire wasn't buying it. Good. I kept the pressure on. That afternoon, I accidentally left my laptop open. A fake email from Claire visible. Tell your wife to back off my husband, or I'm calling the cops. Lisa saw it, went rigid. What's this? She asked, voice shaking. I shrugged. No idea. You know her. She didn't answer, just stormed off, texting furiously. I'd planted the seed, let her sweat. Nate fed me more. Claire had hired a PI, was digging into John's finances. Perfect. I needed Lisa paranoid, distracted. That night, I upped the game. I faked a call from work in front of her, loud enough to hear. Yeah, some lady keeps asking about my wife. Weird, right? Lisa's fork clattered. Who was that? She demanded. Just a co-worker, I said casual. She didn't push, but her hands trembled. I had her rattled. Next, I used Nate's burner again, sent Claire a doctored text screenshot. Lisa to Mom, he's on to us. Move the money. Fake, but believable. Claire would flip, and John would point fingers. I waited 2 days, kept things sweet at home, dinner dates, compliments. Lisa bought it, started relaxing, even showed me LLC papers, bogus rental contracts. I smiled, filed them away. Then it hit. Friday, she got a call, stepped outside, voice rising. I cracked the window, heard her hiss. Claire knows? How? She came back pale, said she had to run an errand. I let her go, tailed her from distance. She met John at the park, arguing, frantic. I snapped pics, her gesturing, him pacing. They were cracking. Back home, she was a wreck, barely speaking. I hugged her, whispered, we'll get through this. She nodded, clueless I'd lit the fuse. But as I uploaded those shots, Nate texted. Claire's PI found the cabin. She's going there tonight. The dominoes were falling, and I wasn't done yet. I stayed up late, pretending to edit photos, while Lisa tossed in bed. She thought I was in the dark, but I was watching her world burn. Nate texted at midnight. Claire's at the cabin. Found John there, with another woman. Another woman? My head spun. Lisa wasn't the only one he was playing. Claire had stormed in, caught them, and called the cops. Trespassing, fraud, the works. John was detained, spilling excuses. Nate hacked a police scanner feed. Claire had the LLC docs, tied them to Lisa's withdrawals. My cash. I grinned, bitter. Lisa's phone lit up at 1 a.m., a call from Mom. She slipped outside, whispering, "What do you mean arrested?" I cracked the door, heard her panic. If Claire talks, we're done. She hung up, came back in, face ashen. "Everything okay?" I asked, all concern. She nodded, mumbled about a friend in trouble. I didn't push, let her stew. Next morning, it hit the fan. Claire showed up at our door, furious, banging loud enough to wake the neighbors. Lisa opened it, tried to play dumb. I don't know what. Claire cut her off, shoved papers in her face. "Your name's all over this. You and John stole from me, too." I stepped in, feigning shock. "Lisa, what's she talking about?" Claire turned on me. "Your wife's a liar. They bought that cabin with our money." Lisa stammered, "It's a misunderstanding," but Claire wasn't having it. She stormed off, yelling about lawyers. Lisa collapsed on the couch, sobbing. "I didn't mean for this," she said. I sat beside her, cold. "Then what did you mean?" She wouldn't look at me, just cried harder. By noon, cops called. They wanted her statement. John had named her, tried to save himself. She left, promising to fix it. I didn't stop her. I checked the account. Empty, frozen by the bank. My savings gone. But I had those pics, texts, her voice memo. Evidence. She'd lose more than money now. That night, she came back, defeated, begging me to stay. I packed a bag instead. "You're on your own," I said, walking out. But as I hit the street, my phone rang. Nate, sounding spooked. "She's not dumb, man." I crashed at Nate's again, my duffel tossed in his spare room. Lisa's pleas echoed. Too late, too hollow. I'd lost everything, savings, trust, 5 years, but I'd taken her down with me. Claire's blow-up, John's arrest, the cops circling. It was chaos I'd orchestrated. My camera sat on Nate's table, lens glinting. I caught her by accident once. Now it was my weapon. I scrolled those final park pics. Her and John, unraveling. Justice, framed. But Nate's call shook me out of it. "She's not done," he'd said, voice low. "Found an app on her phone. Remote tracker. She's been watching you." My skin crawled. "Watching me? Since when?" Nate pulled up logs she'd installed it months ago, tracked my car and my calls. Every tale I'd done, every meet with Nate, she'd known. My clueless act? She'd played along. I checked my phone, clean, but my car? I ran outside, found a cheap GPS puck under the bumper. She'd outsmarted me while I thought I'd won. Back inside, Nate showed me her latest email, sent an hour ago. He thinks he's clever. I've got enough now. Enough what? My head pounded. She'd recorded me, too. Confrontations, my fake calls. Twisting it, making me the villain. I'd exposed her, but she'd built a counter-narrative. Jealous husband, paranoid stalker. Claire's mess would bury her financially, but this? She could spin it legally, maybe even walk free. I sank onto the couch, staring at my camera. I turned it on her, but she turned it back. "What now?" Nate asked. I didn't know. Run? Fight? My savings were gone, but I had the USB, her voice, her texts. Enough to counter her if it came to court. I'd lost the life I'd shot through my lens, but I wasn't soft anymore. I'd survived her. Next morning, I drove off, no destination, just away. My phone stayed quiet, too quiet. She was plotting, and I'd be ready. The road stretched out, empty like a blank frame. I'd rebuild one shot at a time. But as I hit the highway, Nate's last text buzzed. She's lawyered up, and she's got a video. Thank you for tuning into this story. We appreciate every single one of you. We'd love to know what part of the world you're watching from right now. Let us know in the comments.